All right, so you're balling on a budget and you're really wanting to add hip thrust style machines into your home gym. Well, could this GMWD hip thrust machine be right for you guys, your home gym? Well, let's see and find out. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, so in today's video, we're gonna cover GMWD and their hip thrust machine. So I did a review with them way back in the day. It was the in-between gym I had at my buddy's house, and I did their calf raise machine, which I thought, it was like under 200 bucks. I was like, dude, for the price, for one movement, definitely good for home gym use. I was really excited to get a hip thrust machine that actually has two loading points, because the last time I did a hip thrust machine was through Temu. It was through Sayadi, and it was literally designed with one loading spot. So if I did more than a plate, everything literally felt like it was to the right side. So my right hip and my right butt cheek were gonna get absolutely jacked. And then my left side was going to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. So your boy was not a fan of the engineering of that machine. It was very cheap. It was. So was really excited to get this into the gym. So you'll notice that this is in my girlfriend's basement. I actually transferred this from my gym to her gym because this is something that she really wants to work her hips more. She wants to obviously go her glutes more. I'm really proud of her for getting back on her fitness journey. She really wanted this in her basement. So it's been great to have this here when I'm here on the weekends to test it out, and she's been using it for quite some time. We've actually had this for almost 6 months. We have a really good idea of if this is a right fit for you guys in your home gym. So let's first talk about just the specs of the machine and then the mechanisms of it and then the testing and pros and cons. So specs of it, first of all, we will plug the length and width of this machine. You can tell it takes up a lot of space. It does. Something like this, you gotta expect someone in the home gym is working with a decent amount of footprint. So in her basement here, I think it's like, I think the section we're in now is about 450 square foot. So she's able to fit this in here. And then we also have this elliptical and a squat rack with plenty of room. But someone with a very small footprint home gym, this might be very difficult. But if you have the space, this is something that you could look into as we continue to talk. Also too, something that we can note is that this says it holds 800 pounds. Now let's talk about that. First of all, these sleeves are plastic. They can come off and they can be 1-inch or 2-inch plates. Plastic sleeves, I think we should just get rid of that and have steel sleeves. It just, the longevity and durability is just a lot smarter option. And obviously too, longer of these sleeves can add more plates. We have about over 250 pounds of weight here, which first of all is plenty for this for me, your boy's hips, and my beautiful girl. We're not going past that. You cannot get more than like these bumpers here. If I put this here, maybe 3 on each side, and then that's it. So obviously if you got thinner plates, you could maybe get 4 on each side, and then to really try to max that out. But this is not meant for the strong man. This is meant for people like beginners, I would say, maybe intermediate lifters, or people who are just like, their hips, their glutes are extremely weak. They have the space, they look into something like this. All right, so let's talk about some mechanisms of the machine. So we'll work our way throughout the machine. So if we come up here to the front of the machine, guys, what's nice is this platform has numerous adjustments here. You have all the way flat, 1, 2, 3 adjustments. Now, obviously, the flat dynamic here is mainly just so like if you're wanting to store it away, you can lean it up against spots, but it's nice to have the 3 different types of elevation, 2, 3 here. Usually we put it about at the highest setting you can get so that how your feet are in the range of motion of the machine. So you're obviously getting, a full stretch on the bottom, a full stretch on the top. They also have too, is they have the design to be able to put some band pegs if you wanted to do some banded hip thrusts. So that's something too, if you're like, you know, you're weary of the weight capacity, but you're balling on a budget, you could put some bands on it to get some extra resistance, which is, I guess, is a notable feature that is nice to have. This is just a diamond foot plate. In regards to how well your feet can stay on this, my feet are just fine doing the weight. Again, we're not doing a ton of weight, so I feel like my feet are safe and secure on this diamond foot plate. Not an issue. I don't feel like I'm sliding off. And the nice thing about this basement here, it is temperature controlled, so like humidity is not an issue. So if you're in a garage, you know, I would highly suggest getting a dehumidifier, completely off from what we're talking about, but it is a good thing to know, because if it gets very humid, then you're working with not only the rust of your machine, and it can get very slick. So that's something to keep in mind in that aspect. We keep moving around here too, going towards halfway through the machine. The mechanism is very seamless in regards to how this works. So this comes off when you're done, and when you want to come back in, it's got a little hole right here. Just pull this lever up. When I had that mechanism with my other machine, literally the pull pin, the spring just was junk within like 2 weeks. This has been lasting just fine for over 6 months, and we haven't had any issues in regards to keeping that locked in, because you think about it, that does not lock in. That's a huge safety hazard, and it completely defeats the purpose of this machine. So other mechanisms we have too is, it's nice that you have the ability on this backside here, if you wanted to twist and turn this for, you know, if you wanted these spotters to go higher or lower. That really, the only reason why they do that on both sides is different body types, because if you're shorter, taller, you know, depends on, you know, your hips, your body type, you know, you want to make sure that these are set up so that right as you can get as low as you can, so your butt is hitting the pad, and then when you're extending all the way up to squeeze, so you're getting that full range of motion. So I do like that you're not locked into a fixed position. You're able to then adjust those for your different body types, which is great for people with different heights. And then what they have here is your spotters are just, so, which obviously we'll show you in the testing phase. These are used to lock these in so that when you're done, I don't even have it locked in right now. It's stuck on the spotter section, but it's nice. Obviously, if you're gassed out, you would lift these forward and you would lock it into place so that, you know, it's more of a safety aspect. It's just a spotting system, which is nice to see. The padding here, we have not had any issues with the butt pad, the hip pad, and the back pad. In regards to, it's held up just fine. The thing is too, we're not doing a ton of weight on this, and we're not going to, because we don't need to. You know, we're at our fitness goals, what we're wanting to do. We're in the hypertrophy training. We want a good squeeze. You want to just activate the glutes. So the padding is fine for where we're at. You know, if you're someone who's really wanting to elevate and do like a commercial grade style hip thrust machine with a lot of weight, dude, this is obviously, you already know that's not it, dude. It's not. You guys got to understand, these are budget machines. If you're someone who is a freaking meatheads, this ain't for you, dog. Sorry. I'm a meathead in certain things, but hips, your boy is the opposite of a meathead because we do not have the strength. So this is obviously nice to have. So we continue to go back. They have this little section here, this bar here. It's just nice that you're able to, if you wanted to store this or move this around. It's just mainly also too, it's just a support beam to keep the machine together, because if you don't have this, then you're asking for this thing just to crash and burn. There are wheels on the back, so you're able to, on the front here, you have that handle if you wanted to store this in a certain spot or move it around. I mean, you think about how big this thing is. You're only going to be moving this around maybe if you're moving into a new house, or if you're wanting to rearrange your gym. I think it's nice to have that, because in the home gym, even reviewers are just normal people. We constantly are getting new things, and it's nice that we have the ability to transport this around a lot more efficient than trying to put sliders underneath and move it around. And it's just, that's such a pain in the butt. So I do like that transportation aspect of this is added to the system. All right, so talking about the testing phase. So obviously, as the video has been going on, we were showcasing different B-roll and me using the machine. So if I were to get set up into this, I'm not gonna go lower. I'm gonna try to go as high as I can get, which you can see right here, this is the highest we can go. So this is where we're gonna be able to set this up. So I've got 90, 100 pounds, which, you know, it feels really good. Is it the max I can do? Absolutely not. So the next thing you would do is you lock yourself in. So I already have these levers are already out because they're sat on these spotters here. And all you gotta do, just get your feet planted, make sure your feet are on the right spot. So you can already see, again, body type. 6 foot, 207 I think I weighed in this morning. My feet are not coming off of the platform because the platform is actually long enough. Some of these budget machines, dude, the platforms are just like the length or just the height, dude. Again, English teacher here. My feet are falling off, and like it's just like, dude, think about when you're making these. You gotta make a platform that fits to a lot of different heights because then it's a larger market for people out there. So I do like that as a guy who's 6 foot, I still have enough room here. So once you're ready to go, make sure your back is supported with this pad, and then you're ready to go. So what I like is when you get to the bottom of the rep, I have the spotters to that point where my butt, it exactly hits this pad here, and the spotter is right there hitting that spot so that even if I'm gassed out, it's nice that that's there. But I also could, you know, if I wanted to try to get a little bit even, you know, crazy and a little bit deeper, I could adjust this. But where I'm at, how it feels for me, I like it on this spot right here. And then if I wanted just to show you guys real quick, if I were to come up and I wanted just to rack this, just like that, that's how you would do that, especially if you're trying to get your spotters even higher up, you know, because as of right now, like I said, it's already hitting the bottom when I'm getting the lowest on the rep. If you were to raise this up to want to get even deeper, you know, you would use that lever system to lock you in. So that's your spotting system. And then you would just drop yourself out like this, and you would just lock it back in. Go do your next exercise, and boom, dude, you're ready to go. All right, so before we dive into our pros and cons and then my final verdict, again, if you feel like this video was helpful, you feel like this is something you would want in your home gym, regardless of my feedback and what I think, you know, you still want to get something like this, I do have a link in the description. Your boy feels very graceful, feels good knowing that you're supporting Luke's Garage Gym audience and the community by using the link in the description. So if you guys do that, I appreciate you. Even let me know, give you a shout out because I love you for supporting a small home gym reviewer. So let's get into the pros and cons. Let's talk about the pros. The pros of this is a very affordable price. You're not spending a ton of money. This is a residential hip thrust machine. And if you're someone who is a beginning to intermediate lifter, you have the space, you're not worried about, you know, again, doing a ton of weight, this would be up your alleyway. Now, what I also like too is that I do like the wheels on the back. You can easily transport around your gym if you're, again, moving or you have different spots. I do like the 4 adjustments here and the diamond foot plate, and I like how big the platform is so that as a guy who's taller, I feel like I have a very, very solid range of motion. And I do like they have the offering of the different ranges you can do is adjusting of this so you can get as low as you can, because the whole point of a hip thrust is to get as low as you can, butt to the ground, and then squeezing at the top to activate those glutes. So really like that. I think also too I like is the padding is perfect for someone who is not really looking to go super heavy. I could see if you're really trying to load this up, the padding eventually will wear and tear over time because it's not meant to go super heavy. I don't even know why 800 pounds, don't even say that because it's not. Don't even say that. No one should be even getting close to that. This is a home gym use machine. Again, if this is like a piece of machine that go into like, you know, an Anytime Fitness or these big box brands, then this is built way different. This is not. You're not getting close to 800 pounds. If you think you want to do a 800 pound hip thrust in this, you should not buy this. Just telling you. All right. It's just I was kind of going in the cons there too. That's the thing is, con as well could be that this takes up a lot of space. For a small home gym, this is going to be very hard to justify to get. But if you have the room and the space, it's different. But that's just the thing. This is a big machine, dude. Thankfully, you know, like in my girlfriend's basement, she has a space. but that's just something to keep in mind. And another con too is these plastic sleeves, man, you gotta stop these plastic sleeves. Put on the steel sleeves, because over time, has that happened to us yet? No, because it's only been 6 months, but I could imagine 3-4 years that the plastic is just eventually gonna just chip away and just honestly dwindle away, because it's not a durable piece of material compared to steel. So put steel sleeves on. That's an easy fix. And then this is honestly not a bad machine for the beginner intermediate lifter. Let's talk about my verdict here. Honestly, if you're someone who has a space, you're someone who is not looking to lift a ton for hip thrusts, and you want something that's budget friendly, residential use, then guys, I think this could be a right fit. Again, if you're immediate out there, you feel like you really want to elevate your hip thrusts, use a barbell, use plates, or look into the commercial grade hip thrust, because this is not meant for you. I love you guys let me know in the comments. GMWD has a lot of new things out there, budget machines, a lot of machines. I would love to get their new leg extension, commercialized leg extension machine, because they've always been budget friendly. So it'd be cool to get that in. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you guys would like to get that in too. I would love to review that. And again, appreciate anyone who uses the link in the description. They buy this machine. I have that through Amazon, and I appreciate everyone liking and subscribing. We've got a lot coming to the channel, guys, and it's all because of you, all the love and support. So make sure you make some comments. Love to have conversations about this piece in the home gym. Can't wait to bring you guys content soon on Luke's Garage Gym. This is Luke for Luke's Garage Gym. See you guys later.